Alright, y'all, welcome to another edition of the Shop Time. As you can tell, I'm not in the shop. I'm in the truck. Oh. Sometimes in life, you start to think, I know there are things that I should do, but what are some of the things that I shouldn't do? Well, I just got a re-education on something that you shouldn't do. And I'm going to turn it off, and when I get to the place to where I'm telling you where we shouldn't do, to the place where I found out that there's one more thing that you shouldn't do, put it like that, I'll cut it back on. Here is where the lesson was learned. I put this piece of plywood down because all this dirt is sandy. See how fine that sand is? That's why it's called Sugar Hill. It's because this whole hill is covered with nothing but this old fine sand. When I was coming up, I was going down that road right there. That's the road that I wanted to come down. Whenever, dang, I almost hit it again. Anyway, whenever I was coming down, I was coming up this way. My tire went like right there. So that was where one tire was. That's another tire, that's another tire, that's another tire. That was a mess, y'all. I got stuck right there. You can tell exactly where my tires went. Now this is the other track, but that's coming out. But anyway, regardless, it just got stuck right there in that little hole right there, and I could not get it out. So I called my wife and asked her, I didn't tell her nothing. I asked her if she could find the guy that rents the land from us for hunting rights. Well, she did, and she got him over here, and he couldn't get me out. So the next thing I know, he's on the phone and he's calling up folks. Next thing I know, there's an army of folks over here. He finally got a tractor over here and got me out with the tractor. They pulled me out with the darn tractor. But I can't thank him enough. Didn't gripe about it not one bit. Just come over here and got me out and saved me. Big time saved me. So all that happens is when I'm coming up this way, I usually go straight until I get about to right here and see there's another wash right there. And then I cut it back to the right this way and go straight that way. Well, I just cut it a little too early is all I did. And the right front made it through, no problem. Right front curved around, but the right rear went right down there. Now, I got a four-wheel drive truck, and it wouldn't pull me out. Sit there and just make holes is all it did. That tells you how soft and sandy this darn dirt is. Coming down ain't that big of a deal. Because if you miss the hole, all you're doing is just kind of going down that way some. But this is where you learn a lesson in life. Make sure your back tires are clear. But I can't thank that guy enough, and all of his hunting buddies that come over here and helped me out, got me out of here. Brought a darn tractor over here. Snatched me out and him out. The guy that rents the land from us, he got stuck right here too, trying to pull me out. So he got both of us out. So I'm not mentioning any names because I don't know if they want the name mentioned on the YouTube here, but if you guys are watching, you know who you are. I surely appreciate it. Have no idea, because if not, I'd still be right here. Well, that was a mess. That was a mess. But they say they're gonna get fixed where they can, because they come back here too. I mean, they come back here all the time to hunt and stuff, so it's not that big of a deal. I mean, for them to come fix this up. So whatever they do, I appreciate that too, because this is, I've come back here 100 times, I bet you, and this is the first time I've ever gotten stuck. Like I said, if it'll rain and kind of pack this sand in a little bit, it wouldn't be so bad. But this stuff right here, that's just, and the white stuff right there, it's like beach sand is all it is. Sugar Hill. That's where the Sugar Hill from the Sugar Hill Sway comes from. Right here. But we got out. We're good to go. Navigation. That's right. The ancient Babylonians had a New Year's celebration every year in honor of their chief god, Marduk. I think I'm saying that right, M-A-R-U-K, M-A-R-M-U-K, yeah. Every year they would have a celebration, a festival. And the kings of Babylon played a very important and crucial role in this festival. What they would do is they would make themselves seen in the festival, be your, good old boy politician, if you might, and then they would go to the temple. They would go into the temple and they'd walk up to the chief, not the chief, the head priest, not the chief priest, I guess. What they would do is they would go in there to him, and the priest would ask him, say, have you wronged anybody since the last time you was in here this whole year? Have you wronged anybody? And the king would always answer no. So the chief priest would rear back and slap the fire out of him. Slap the fire out of the king. It's the only time it would happen. If the king's eyes teared up after the slapping, that meant that he was telling the truth and he got to rule for another year. That's a heck of a way to prove your worth, ain't it? Go get slapped and then you get your eyes teared up. This was a king now. This wasn't some lowly governor or something like that. The king would go in there and the priest would just rear back and just slap the fire. And if his eyes teared up, well, that meant he was telling the truth, He got to rule for another year. Oh, some of the crap they used to do, man. I ain't never in my life.